This music's some throwback, eh?
What is this?
Do you remember from the days when they were doing the Tai Chi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's old school, eh?
That's right,
Single leg X is a very fundamental position to no-gi and footlocking positions, right? It allows us to get access to the hip, control the knee, and then break the ankle at the end. A good footlock doesn't just attack the ankle, it attacks the knee. So one of the things that you're noticing is I'm trying to get everyone to control with their knees, not just with their arms at the end. Because if we're not controlling that knee, they can still move. So this footlock grip, the shotgun footlock grip, you're starting to see quite a lot at the higher levels because it allows you a higher level of control over the leg. Traditionally, we just kind of had this like guillotine style grip, and it's good enough. But at the high levels, people are finding ways to rotate their leg. And if you allow rotation to happen, you can't get that braking force through the plantar flexion of the foot. That's about as complex as it gets, really. We're just trying to break the ankle. This week, we're working on the straight footlock, okay? From single leg X. This is legal at all levels. What's up, bro? First things first, he's gonna stand, and we're gonna use that same entry now to get to our single leg X hip bump sweep, okay? Very straightforward move, but it's still really effective at getting his hips to the mat. To leg lock someone, guys, the key thing that you need to know is you need to get hands or hips to the mat, okay? Ideally hip. Sometimes you need to get hands first so their hips are light and then I can enter the legs. What I like about single leg X is once I get here, it's a very straight shot backwards into the space where he's got no post to put him down and then straight foot lock him, okay? Now, things to notice, shotgun grip, okay? We used to do this kind of grip right from the start, but the problem is Joseph can still move his foot around in that, right? He can pivot it, so he can absorb a lot of the pressure of my sweep. So take this grip here, up his calf, clamp your elbow in, and have his foot and ankle already trapped up in your armpit. When we swing in, hips are gonna go high, clamping. When you go to your single leg X, I really exaggerate my foot going out. The reason for this is it allows me to do a nice big hamstring curl and actually lift myself higher into the single leg X, okay? I'm not so worried about where my foot goes, Nige, like you mentioned earlier. It's not gonna matter that much. Some people will go out, some people will go in. For me, it's more about making sure that my knees connect so that his foot can't move and his knee can't move. From here, I'm gonna turn my hips up and out, bumping high to get him down, okay? That's our basic SLX sweep, okay? Ashigarami, single leg X, whatever you wanna call it. To finish a footlock from here, guys, I don't recommend. My elbow's on the mat. If I try to take a footlock here, you see how low my hands are? I'm bleeding a lot of pressure, okay? For a good straight footlock, I need to get my hands up higher. So, watch what we do. Scoot your hip back, sit up, okay? Pretty simple, all right, but it's effective. If I can, I like to have my foot under his ass cheek, okay? And now, I take a ring grip, okay? So I get to the end of his ankle, I wanna feel his toes behind my back, and I bring my hand up high, and yeah, it's already tight, okay? Be careful, not everyone's ankles are like the same level of flexibility. And from here, a lot of people used to just go like this for the finish, okay? Like this guillotine style grip here, protecting that hand, and then we can start to fall to our shoulder, turn away, and you can get the finish like that. But I would like if you start to try and use the shotgun grip, okay? Jake O'Driscoll showed me this one when he came here last year. Very, very good guy from Perth in Australia. And he was really generous with his leg lock knowledge. Like Setu, you were here, eh? Ed, were you here for it? Yeah? Nah. Nige? And you were as well, hey? Nah.
He leg locked me in Perth.
He leg locked you in Perth, so you felt this. The reason we like this is because we can go from this shotgun grip that we had at the start, right? And when I put this on here, I can put more of a bend in his knee. Because there's no gi, having this friction is really good. So he can't like move, and I can put a little bit of a bend in it. I can also use my other hand to reinforce as I bring this hand high to my sternum. My elbow's kind of going underneath, which is a little bit different to this forearm style one. We're in here, my hand's gonna choke up short on his forearm, and I'm gonna grab in for my own wrist, okay? And like that. There's a lot of pressure already, eh?
Oh, there's no space.
No space. That's what I like about it, and honestly, when he showed it, I was like, wow, I need to start doing more footlocks like that. From here, we squeeze our knees together so we capture his knee, and now we can start to turn, okay? I'm clenching my arms in, taking the any space out, knees together, and I can start to turn, or I can go using my back, okay? You ideally want to use your back to try and break that ankle. That little turn we put in it.
You're getting, when you say the end of the ankle, this is where you're looking to get.
You want to be on this ring here, bro. Right. You want to be right on the end of it. I don't want to be on his Achilles, because an Achilles crush, Joseph's already been training long enough, he's not going to tap to that.
I mean, it hurts.
It just hurts, but like...
I'm sure that you're strong enough to make me tap, but...
Maybe if I like broke both of the bones in your leg, eh?
Like, you know sometimes, oh, this is just pain.
Yeah.
But when someone's got it locked in, you're like, okay,
yeah.
this might actually damage.
So what I want you guys to try and focus on is getting to the end of the lever, right? Right to the end of that foot. So you feel everything in there. Foot in the hip, we can push off of it so he can't stand on it. If I'm lax with this foot, he'll put his foot on the ground. Just put your weight through your foot.
Oh,
yeah. And like, I can't foot lock him if his foot's on the ground, okay? So if we go back, and I paste my foot to his hip, I start pushing away. If he tries to stand through that, I'm gonna finish it before he can stand, okay? Especially when I start putting my back into it. Does that make sense, guys? So single leg X, high hips and turn out to put them down to their hip. When you fall, just like put a little bit of a bend in your elbows if you break falling so you don't like jar up your elbows. Give each other some feedback and make sure that you're at the end of that ankle, that you're not on the Achilles. That's the biggest difference I can tell you between a shitty footlock and really getting someone like to break their foot or their ankle, okay? All right, sound good? Any questions? Do you need to see it again? Nah, all right, let's go do it, okay. Give each other feedback on it as well. Yeah, that one feels tight. Oh, that one could have been better. Yeah, you guys work in a 3, okay? Alright guys, so that concludes another episode of the vlog. Thanks for watching. We've been working on single leg X this week with straight footlock finishes. Of course there are branches that come off of that. Pretty much all of our leg locks can start from that single leg X position. Just trying to get the team, especially the more beginners, to work from those positions and identify, hey, this is where my offense can start. I heard a really interesting piece of advice from a wrestler where they only drilled finishes to their single leg takedowns. One of the things I want the team to get confident about is finishing their straight footlocks. If a person has the confidence to finish a submission, they will find a way to that position. I thought that was a really valuable gem. Of course, we can look to wrestling and the background that they have with Olympic level science to inform our own training, and I'm always just trying to find the best way to instruct the team. So I feel like that's a good piece of advice for anyone who's aspiring to be an instructor or current instructors. Don't just do what's tradition. Try to look and respond to things that are modern. Try to respond to things that will benefit your team, not just things you feel comfortable with. Some of these entries are not necessarily the ones I prefer, but if I don't show the team and broaden their horizons, no one's ever going to develop a different style game. I'm not here to try and make everyone a cookie cutter version of myself because I'm not good. So I want everyone to be able to give me different looks when I train with them. So there's that selfish element to it. But if I can make one person do one thing slightly different and give me a challenging look, then I feel like I'm doing a better job than just showing a person, this is how I do it, quote unquote. So that's my advice for you. Take it or leave it. Train safe, have fun, and we'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ciao.